Well, I started playing when I was 9 years old. My dad got me my first guitar for my 9th birthday. And I started out playing. My dad, when he first started teaching me, he started teaching me fingerpicking straight away. Because that's what I wanted to learn as well, because I'd grown up seeing him playing the old fingerstyle, like country blues guitar and like Americana style stuff and ragtime as well, and that's what I wanted to learn because I just grew up hearing him playing it and hearing all the old CDs like Blind Lemon Jefferson and Blind Blake and all that kind of thing. So he started off teaching me fingerpicking style straight away, and when I was 9, and I played for about a year and a half maybe, and I got to a certain stage and I got pretty good, I suppose, and then I actually started training boxing and jiu-jitsu, so I got really into that. When I was about 11, I got really, 10 or 11, I got very into that, so I kind of put the guitar up for a wee while, and I was training that for about 3 or 4 years, and then lockdown hit when I was about 13, so I couldn't train anymore for about 2 years pretty much because I was stuck at home, and so I decided to pick the guitar up again and start playing again because I was bored. And I needed something to do with myself, so I decided to start playing again, and yeah, I went back to my dad and said, can you start teaching me again as well, because I just wanted to learn properly from him. I mean, why wouldn't I when I've got a teacher, like? So I decided to start learning again during lockdown, and I already kind of learnt Vestiball when I was younger, and then during lockdown I learnt to play Blind Blake's Police Dog Blues, and I decided just for fun, I didn't think anything would come of it, we decided to put it up on YouTube, just for no reason really at all, but when we did that, it got quite a lot of attention, a lot more than we'd expected. Yeah, and I put up Vestiball as well shortly after that, when I'd learnt it fully, and it got a lot of attention too. Yeah, so that's kind of how things started out for me, I suppose. Yeah. When I was growing up, I have 2 siblings as well, and they would have grown up hearing the same kind of music, but they never took to it. So I suppose I just, I don't know, I suppose I just kind of connected with it or something, and I just really loved listening to it. It's just the kind of music that I love, I suppose. Yeah, there's not much reason. I don't really have a reason. I just really love it, and yeah. At first, my dad, he taught me the songs himself, and through him teaching them, I just kind of became like independent and able to learn them from the records myself. And yeah, I would slow them. I used to slow them down to hear exactly the notes that they were playing, and I just learned them from the records pretty much. I don't read tabs or anything, or I don't read music, so I just learn by ear. Yeah.
And who were your favourite players of that era?
Blind Blake is one of my favourites. I really love Reverend Gary Davis as well. He became famous. He played in the 30s as well, but he became famous in the 1960s. And I really love Mississippi John Hurt as well. And Memphis Minnie, I love her as well. She's very cool. They're probably a few of my favourites. Blind Lemon Jefferson too. I recently learned Blind Blake's That'll Never Happen No More. And I also play a Blind Lemon Jefferson song, Black Horse Blues. I play a couple of instrumentals as well, a John Fahey song called Sligo River Blues. Yeah. Some of the ones that I learned on the album, my dad would have taught me them when I was younger, and I went and recorded them then, but he would have taught me some of them, the early ones. And then from that, mostly now I just learn them by myself. That's how my dad taught me. He taught me to rest my finger, just there. When I started learning, and the first thing he taught me was when I began learning to fingerpick was just alternate bass, so just boom like this here. And I started learning open tunings first. because he thought it'd be easier for me because I was small and easier on my hands, and there's not big chords. We don't really play big chords in open tunings very often. But when I started learning, I played just that like that for about a week till my thumb was kind of independent, until I was able to do that without thinking. And then I started slowly adding into kind of a chord, so I'd be like, and go like that. Yeah, and that's how I started learning. And after that, he might start adding in some of the melody notes, and slowly over a long period of time I learned.
It all started to come together.
Yeah, it all started coming together, yeah. So for very basic, I would probably... Very basic. This guitar actually belongs to my dad. He got it when I think he got it actually before I even started playing, when I was quite young, but this is definitely one of my favourites. It's probably just because it's got a really small body, and I'm quite small, so it's easier for me to play. And it's a 12 fret, so it's got short scale, and it was easier for me to learn on this as well, because I would have had short arms when I was younger and all, so I would have to reach up, and it's just got a really nice neck and all in it, and it's a really nice guitar, and it sounds amazing as well.
Has it got a sort of a V
yeah,
neck?
It's got a kind of a V, a slight V. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like a kind of a wee V in the neck usually. Yeah. Well, mainly now I just play in standard tuning, but I do play a couple of songs in open tunings. So I play Festival, and I play Police Dog Blues. They're both in open E tuning. Well, they're actually in open D, but I tune the guitar up to open E, so it's easier for me to sing. And I play Frankie and When the Levee Breaks in open A tuning. And did the same thing for that. It's usually played in open G, but I tuned it up to open A so it's easier for me to sing, because I don't have a very deep voice. Yes, I played them open. That's kind of main, and I do a couple of songs in drop D as well. This is another Waterloo. It's one of my favorite guitars as well. And I have this one in open A tuning too, so I don't have to tune. Yeah, and it sounds really good, and the songs in open A sound really good in this guitar as well. But yeah, this is an open A tuning. I usually play about only 2 songs in open A. Oh, wait, example. Well, I actually started learning in open tunings. I started learning in open D tuning. So I suppose I was kind of used to them. When I went to a standard tuning, it was actually harder for me. So,
Oh, right.
But yeah, I'm probably more used to standard tuning now than the open tunings. But I don't really have much trouble playing in open tunings at all. It's not much different for me. Yeah. For going on a plane, maybe my problem, I might only take 2, because it's a lot to take 3 guitars on away, and just tune between the open tunings on stage. But usually I take 3 on tour. Yeah, I have a guitar that's made by Kieran McNally. It's called McNally guitar. Yeah, it's probably my favorite guitar, but I don't like taking it. I don't like taking it away, because it's kind of precious to me, I suppose. It's a custom made guitar. He made it for me. I got to design the inlays in the neck and all, so it's it's very pretty guitar, I suppose. It's definitely one of my favourites, so, and it sounds amazing as well. Yeah. No, I didn't have the McNally at that stage. I only got the McNally about this March, I think it was. So I didn't have it at that stage. I recorded most of the songs. I recorded them on, I think it was probably the 2 Waterloos actually. Yeah, mostly the 2 Waterloos. Most of the songs are recorded on them. Yeah. We recorded the songs down in a little home studio that's just like 5 minutes down the road from where we lived. And my dad knew the guy Terry McGinty. It's called a Valley Music Studio, but we actually knew him, and it wasn't really like a proper big studio experience. It was a little home studio in a little small room, and it was really it was like playing at home nearly. So it was just I haven't really had that studio experience yet. So well, my album was actually being released just before the nanny, so in December, on the 8th of December it was being released. And my dad had the idea just to ask the record label of Tompkins Square Records, Josh Rosenthal, to just get in contact with people just about my album and let them know that it's going to be out there and stuff. And he got in contact with the producer of Jools of the Hootenanny and just the Later show as well, and not to get on the show, just to kind of let them know my album's going to be out there and all. And when he did that, it turned out he already bought my album. I released a single before the album was out, the Richmond Woman Blues, so she had already bought that. She already bought it, yeah, and everything kind of just came together after that. She had an idea to record, do a thing like, do a recording like the C6 Steve did a few years ago, like a little kind of acoustic recording after the big, after the band. After midnight, I think it was. A change after the Jools big band. A little acoustic act and bring the lights down like that, kind of, yeah. Yeah, well, I'd never been on television before, of course. Yeah, it was a really big jump. Like, before that, I'd only played like 3 or 4 gigs, small gigs, and like in my hometown, pretty much in Ireland. So I wasn't used to that at all. I was very nervous, I must say, to go on and be in a big studio, and it was crazy, yeah. This is my guitar this time, actually. It's an Iris. It's a really good guitar as well. It's got a pretty strong V-neck again. It's kind of what I like, I suppose. Small enough body and all. Suit me. This was actually, it was built for me. Yeah, it was built for me. It was custom made for me by Irish Guitars. They're a new brand, a new company. They're made by the same Luthers that made Waterloo guitars. After Bill Collins passed away, they got rid of all the Luthers that make the Waterloo guitars because there weren't. And this guy, the guy that makes Irish, he decided to come up with this company, and they hired all the people that, all the Luthers that were making the Waterloo guitars. So it's a pretty similar guitar to the Waterloos. Yeah, it's an open E tuning. Well, at the minute I'm just kind of on tour, I suppose, and playing out, getting myself out there. And I suppose I am preparing for trying to get new songs in my repertoire and preparing for to record a new album as well. But it's not going to be. I'm not too pushed to record one very soon, but there will be another one. Yeah, in the past year or two, maybe next year or two.